Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Lancaster County Board of Commissioners meeting for Tuesday, July 17th. For introduction purposes, my name is Todd Wilchin. I am the chair of the county board this year. On my left, we have fellow Commissioner Bill Avery. On my right, fellow Commissioner and Vice Chair Jennifer Brinkman. Commissioners Deb Shore and Roma Amundsen are not with us this morning. They are both attending the National Association of County Officials annual convention in Nashville. Joining us from the County Attorney's Office this morning is Jen Holloway. From the County Clerk's Office, we have the County Clerk Dan Nolte and Monet McCullum. And from the County Board Office, both Mr. Kerry Egan, the Chief Administrative Officer, and our Deputy Chief Administrative Officer, Ann Ames, are at a management team meeting and should be joining us momentarily. Now, if you please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And Mr. Clerk, would you please start the agenda?
A copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is located on the wall at the rear of the hearing room. Additionally, a copy of our material to be discussed today's open meeting is available from the county clerk's staff at the front of the hearing room. The material can also be viewed on the county's website at lancaster.ne.gov. Agenda on item 1 are minutes. Approve the minutes of the Board of Commissioners meeting held on Tuesday, July 10th, 2018.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the minutes from the last Board of Commissioners meeting held last Tuesday. Any discussion or corrections? Please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. Number 2 are claims. Approval of all claims processed through July 17th, 2018.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve all claims processed through today. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. Number 3 is new business. 3A is a resolution in a matter of applying for financial assistance from the Recreational Trails Program Grant Fund for the Wilderness Park South Bridge in Lancaster County, Nebraska.
Good morning, Ms. Hertz.
Good morning, Sarah Hartzell with the Parks Department. Here to talk to you a little bit today about the Wilderness Park Bridge application. Sorry, I'm trying to write my own name and talk at the same time. That's pretty sad. Okay. Wilderness Park Bridge is actually a location of a historic bridge. There was a bridge there for many years that aged and needed to be replaced. It was replaced about 10 years ago now, and unfortunately that bridge collapsed, and we would like to replace it. Wilderness Park, as you know, is about 7 miles long. There are over 30 miles of trails in this park, but when you get to the south end of the park, because of the way that the creek, Salt Creek, winds through Wilderness Park, you have an area of the park down here, which is about 7 miles of trail that's really isolated from the rest of the park without a bridge at this point to be able to get across there. So we'd like to apply for some recreational trails program funding to replace this bridge. We are currently doing the preliminary engineering and design for the bridge, and we plan to have that done before the grant would be actually awarded. But this grant will cover the construction of the bridge and the construction engineering of that bridge. We do have a 50% match plan for this grant. 20% is the requirement for the recreational trails program. We're over matching to increase our points and get a higher ranking on the priority list, so we have a better chance of being funded. We have matching grant also supplied by Great Plains Trails Network, as well as the Run for the Bridges.
Excellent. Any questions for Sarah?
In the matching funds you're planning, where would that come from?
The majority of the matching funds on the city side come from either the settlement from the collapse of the bridge in 2009 or our Keno funds, which are used for repair and replacement projects.
There's a lot of competition for that Keno money.
There's a lot of repairing and replacing to do.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll move approval.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the resolution applying for the financial assistance grant. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. 3B is a resolution authorizing the installation of traffic control devices in Lancaster County.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the resolution installing a traffic control device in Lancaster County. It looks like it's the installation of a driveway warning sign on Little Salt Creek Road. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. C is a special designated license application from Blue Stem Tree Farm at 5895 West Sprague Road, Crete, for a country music concert, Frog Fest, to be held on August 18th, 2018.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the SDL application from Blue Stem Tree Farm for Frog Fest. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. 3D is a special event permit application from Craig Schmidt and Corey Godfrey for a Gravel Worlds bicycle ride on Sunday, August 19th, 2018.
Good morning.
Morning.
My name is Corey Godfrey. I'm one of the owners of Gravel Ventures LLC. We're applying for a special event permit for, it's actually Saturday, August the 18th. The typo on the number there. So the event is actually called Gravel Worlds. It is a gravel bicycle ride. Starts and ends in Fallbrook neighborhood. It'll traverse the roads, the gravel roads mainly of Lancaster County. It's 150 miles in duration, and we have cyclists coming from all over the country and actually even some international riders. So it's a race where riders use a GPS device or cue sheets to navigate the course. It's on open roads. The riders know all about safety, or always remain on the right side of the road. We have several checkpoints throughout the event to ensure they have enough fluids and snacks and stuff. So we're hoping Lancaster County will approve the special event permit.
Any questions for Mr. Godfrey? Commissioner Avery,
You want to
go ahead.
Just one question. Gravel is very unstable for bikers. Do you have a fair number that wipe out on the gravel roads?
Actually, it's really not that unstable, believe it or not. For cyclists, gravel grinding is kind of a new genre of racing and riding, and it's really taken hold in the Midwest. So the Midwest has kind of been like really the birthplace, and then it's taken off in the past 10 years. So the people who are coming for this event are really experienced with riding. And I don't think we've ever had any really serious injuries in the larger events in the Midwest doing this type of racing.
It must be finely ground gravel.
Yeah, I mean, if there's some like talcum powder type of gravel, that can kind of throw you for a loop. Some of the larger, like the size of a cherry tomato, can be a little difficult to ride over. But you have people riding anywhere from a really small tire to, about 23 centimeters up to those, 5-inch fat bike tires. So we have a wide variety of people on different bikes. So, I mean, the people who are riding are really experienced, and they're pretty good at it. We have some of the best people in the country coming, and actually international riders, like I mentioned before. They're really skilled.
Do you know of anything that's planned for the first week in August?
As far as events, first week in
Events,
August?
yeah.
I don't know of any, no.
My son is coming to town, and he is crazy about biking.
Okay. Well, if you can always get a hold of any of us, we'd definitely take him out for a ride. So, Lincoln's great. I mean, Lincoln's surrounded by the gravel roads, so any direction you go, you can get on some really good gravel roads.
He complains that we don't have mountains here.
We have the mountains. Well, we don't have the mountains, but we have the wind, that's for sure. So,
Well, kind of follow up on Commissioner Avery's question. My question had to do, and I think you answered it, is that I get the sense that the participants in this bicycle ride are experienced not only on gravel, but also with the nature of the roads, with the type of motor vehicle traffic and whatnot.
Yep, yeah, and we always make sure they know that the course is open, always stay to the right, and that's how all the gravel events in actually the country are run. They're run on open roads. I mean, it's just too difficult to close,
Yeah.
150 miles of county roads. So everyone always stays to the right, and that they're aware of, any intersections and anything that's dangerous. We clearly mark those in the cue sheets, highlight it, a dangerous intersection or whatever. So, yeah, signal when you turn, stop the stop signs, obey all the traffic laws, all those apply. So we go over that very, very carefully in our rider meeting. Yep.
I have one more.
Commissioner Avery has a follow-up question.
It would be nice if the motorists understand and obey current law relating to distance from behind and distance on the side when they encounter a biker. I'm not sure that they understand, that the average motorist understands that we have that law, just passed a few years in the legislature.
Yeah, the 3-foot passing law.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. We can't really police that, but.
No, I
it's
know you
something-
can't.
We have signs throughout the course, educate, cyclists on the road, please be careful. So hopefully the motorists will give us plenty of room. We have to even worry about farm equipment too. We have some farm
Oh,
equipment
yeah.
out that's on here.
That's even more
Yeah,
dangerous.
it's not close to harvest, but it's getting, pretty close to harvest, but we'll have some farm equipment out there. So, yeah, and the riders they're all experienced. They're well knowledgeable about traffic laws and, how to ride in the gravel. So it should be a really good event. We're pretty
And
excited.
you have
for it.
medical staff?
We have volunteers, and then, we always tell people to call if they have any emergencies, call EMS, because they're scattered across, not just in Lancaster County, but other counties as well. So they know, and then we have emergency contact information for every riders. If there's any kind of emergencies, we can get a hold of their next of kin or their next contact, and then make sure they're taken care of.
Any other questions?
Oh.
I'll move approval of the special event permit for Saturday, August 18th,
Correct.
as reflected in the application itself.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the special event permit for Gravel World's bicycle ride. Any discussion?
I was just gonna add that the agenda had August 19th as an alternate date in case of rain, and that the initial submittal had some conflicts, which we got a revised route which avoids those, and with the understanding that conditions can change. So, if there would happen to be something that would change the route, we'd want to be notified we would
Okay.
notify you right away.
Sure, that'd be great.
And for the record, that's Ken Schroeder.
Oh, yeah, Controller County Engineering Department.
Yes, thank you for that information. Any other discussion? Please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes,
Motion carries 3-0.
good luck for your event.
All right, thank you.
E is acceptance of Lancaster County's rates for group insurance benefits for life and supplemental life AD&D coverage with the Hartford from August 1st, 2018 through August 1st, 2020.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to accept the rates for our group insurance benefit through Hartford. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. F is a recommendation from purchasing agent and the county sheriff to award and execute a purchase order for 6 police mid-sized utility vehicles from the state of Nebraska contract. The total amount of the order is $180,144.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to award and execute the purchase of 6 police mid-sized utility vehicles. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. G is an agreement between the University of Nebraska on behalf of the University of Nebraska-Lincoln Police Department and Lancaster County on behalf of the Lancaster County Sheriff's Office to provide public safety employees for university events on an as-needed basis. The university will reimburse the county at the average overtime rate based on the hourly rate of the employee. The term of the agreement is July 15th, 2018 through June 14th, 2019, and will automatically renew for the succeeding year until terminated.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the agreement with the University of Nebraska-Lincoln Police Department. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. 3H is an agreement with Alfred Benish and Company and Lancaster County on behalf of the Lancaster County Engineer for the 2018 miscellaneous materials, asphalt correlation, and laboratory testing. The cost to the county is not to exceed $17,000.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the agreement with the Alfred Benish and Company. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. I is a contract with M.E. Collins Contracting Company, Inc., and Lancaster County on behalf of the Lancaster County Engineer for concrete box culverts B-147 and N-19. The cost of the county is $495,908.94. Work is to be completed on or before November 1st, 2018, or within 30 working days of the county's notice to proceed.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the contract with M.E. Collins Contracting Company, Inc. For 2 box culvert projects. Any discussion? Mr. Schroeder, would you be able to answer basic questions about these? My question then, for the public,
County
can
Engineering Department.
you tell us where the structures B-147 and N-19 are located?
B-147 is on Agnew Road between North 98th and North 112th. And N-19 is on West Pioneers between, real close to Southwest 100th Street. There's 30 working days to do these, and I guess when I checked this approximate start date, it was February 1st of 2019 and March 15th, 2019.
That was going to be my question, that in the contract documents, it says it won't begin until February 1st, but our agenda says that it's going to be done before November 1st.
I'll have to, if you need some clarification, I'm gonna have to do some checking on that. I looked in the contract and those were the dates, February 1st,
Agreed.
and that's 30 working days to,
To finish the
yeah, to
project.
finish the project.
Appreciate that information. Any other questions? Okay, we have a motion and a second to award the contract. Please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. J is an agreement between the University of Nebraska Board of Regents and the Lincoln Housing Authority for operation of the nutrition education program to address the nutritional needs of certain limited income persons living in urban housing in Lancaster County. The county will pay up to $20,734 for the services provided by the university. The Housing Authority will pay $10,519 for services combined with $11,247 from the United States Department of Agriculture Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. The term of the agreement is September 1st, 2018 through August 31st, 2019.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the agreement with the University of Nebraska Board of Regents and the Lincoln Housing Authority for the operation of the nutrition education program. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. K is an agreement with Region 5 Systems for emergency protective custody services at the Mental Health Crisis Center. Region 5 will enter into separate agreements with referring counties who will send acutely mentally ill individuals to Lancaster County. The county will be paid $186 per individual per day. The term of the agreement is July 1st, 2018 to June 30th, 2019.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the agreement with Region 5 Systems for emergency protective custody. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. L are grant contracts funded by the Juvenile Justice Prevention Funds for the period of July 1st, 2018 through June 30th, 2019 with the following. The Salvation Army in the amount of $30,000 for the Shields Unite program. The Salvation Army in the amount of $40,000 for the Sudanese Advocacy Program.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the two grant contracts funded by the Juvenile Justice Prevention Fund. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. M is acceptance of federal grant award 2017 WFAX 00004 from the U.S. Department of Justice, passed through the Nebraska Commission on Law Enforcement and Criminal Justice Sub-Grant Award in the amount of $240,235. The grant is funded by the federal program Stop Violence Against Women for the period of June 1st, 2018 through May 31st, 2019.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to accept the federal grant award from the Federal Stop Violence Against Women program. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. Number 4 is consent items. 4A are wide-array contracts with the following. Shiloh McGill, North 110th Street and Agnew Road in amount of $16. Curtis Tomasvix, Northwest 27th Street and West Raymond Road in the amount of $1,135. Paulson Family Living Trust, South 120th Street and Hickman Road in the amount of $1,252. 301 Investment LLC, South 78th Street and Hickman Road in the amount of $271. Gertis Limited Partnership, Northwest 84th Street and West Left Road in the total amount of $175, and this includes 2 contracts. T. Daniel Revocable Trust, Timothy D. Bittinger, trustee. C. Lynn Revocable Trust, Cynthia L. Bittinger, trustee. This is Northwest 27th Street and West Raymond Road in a total amount of $3,710, and this is for 2 contracts. Sandra K. Fox, Northwest 27th Street and West Raymond Road in a total amount of $1,656. This is 2 contracts. William E. and Artis A. Bundy, North 110th Street and Agnew Road in a total amount of $151, and this is for 2 contracts. B is an amendment for a price increase with Matheson Trigas for rental and service of industrial gases. The revised estimated expenditure to the county for this contract period is not to exceed $3,200. C is receive and place on file the county attorney's reports for April 1st, 2018 through June 30th, 2018.
Move approval of the consent items.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the consent items. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. Number 5 is public comment. Those wishing to speak on items relating to county business not on agenda may do so at this time.
Anyone in the audience wishing to speak on a matter not on the agenda but related to county business? Seeing none, Mr. Clerk, would you please continue with the announcements?
The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will hold a staff meeting on Thursday, July 19th, 2018 at 8:30 a.m. in the Bill Luxford studio of the County City Building. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will hold its next regular meeting on Tuesday, July 24th, 2018 at 9 a.m. in room 112 of the County City Building. County Commissioners can be reached at 402-441-7447 or commission@lancaster.ne.gov. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners meeting is broadcast live on Link TV City. For the rebroadcast schedule, visit lincoln.ne.gov. Meetings are also streamed live on Link TV and can be viewed on YouTube.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
Yeah, we have a motion and a second to adjourn. Please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0.
Okay, that concludes the Lancaster County Board of Commissioner meeting. I'm going to go ahead and open up the agenda for the Lancaster County Board of Equalization. Mr. Clerk, would you please start the agenda?
A copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is located on the wall at the rear of the hearing room. Additionally, a copy of all written material to be discussed at today's open meeting is available from the county clerk's staff at the front of the hearing room. The material can also be viewed on the county's website at lancaster.ne.gov. Also in attendance this morning is Scott Gaines from the county assessor's office. Agenda item 1 are minutes. Approve the minutes of the Board of Equalization meeting held on Tuesday, July 10th, 2018.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion, a second, to approve the minutes from the last Board of Equalization meeting held last Tuesday. Any discussion or corrections? Go ahead and call the roll, Mr. Clerk.
Avery,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. Number 2 are additions and deductions of the tax assessment rolls.
I'll move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion, a second, to approve the additions and deductions to the tax assessment rolls. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. Next is a public hearing. This is 3A, motor vehicle tax exemption applications for Fellow Baptist Church, Crossbridge Christian Church, Capital Humane Society, Priestly Fraternity St. Peter, doing business as Our Lady of Guadalupe Seminary, East Ridge Presbyterian Church, Angelic Temple Church of God in Christ.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and open up the public hearing for the motor vehicle tax exemption applications. Anyone in the audience wishing to testify in support, in opposition, or in the neutral capacity on these applications? Seeing none, I'm going to go ahead and close the public hearing for the motor vehicle tax exemption applications.
Number 4 is action on motor vehicle tax exemption applications.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the motor vehicle tax exemption applications. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. 3B is a hearing on a notice of proposed change in exemption status for Southminster United Methodist Church, New Hope United Methodist Church, First Church of Christ Scientists, Lincoln Family Church, Friendship Home of Lincoln, and City Impact.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and open up the public hearing for the notice of proposed change in exemption status. Anyone here to testify in support?
Good morning, Scott Gaines, Deputy County
I'll need to
Assessor.
swear you in. Do you solemnly swear from the testimony you're about to give the truth and nothing but the truth?
I do. Item B, these are all properties that had previously received tax exemptions. They have sold to someone else, so this is just the formality of removing the exemptions as they were previously structured.
Commissioner Avery?
Can you tell me anything at all about First Church of Christ Scientists? Because I believe they're across the alley from my house, and I haven't seen any activity there for a month or more.
What I can tell you is that it did sell, and you'll see in item C, there is a second Church of Christ Scientist applying for exemption status. My understanding is it sold from one church to a related church entity.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Okay. Anyone else here to testify in support of these the exemption status? Notice change? Anyone?
So this would be to remove the exemption status on those 6, yes.
Anyone here to testify in opposition or in the neutral capacity? Okay, going to go ahead and close the public hearing for the notice of proposed change in exemption status.
Number 5 is action on notice of proposed change in exemption status.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the notice of proposed change in exemption status. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. 3C is tax exemption on real and personal property for Second Church of Christ Scientists, Capital City Horse and Pony Club, Great Plains Community Church, Lincoln Babe Ruth Baseball Association, Nebraska Lutheran Campus Ministry in Lincoln, Malcolm Cemetery Association, SJS KPM LLC, Connection Point, Fire Spring Foundation, and Nonprofit Hub Foundation.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and open up the public hearing for the tax exemption on real and personal property. Anyone here to testify in support?
Me again. These items are new applications. We've done the review and the research, and we recommend approval of each and every one of these.
Okay, thank you for that information. Any questions? Okay, anyone else here to testify in support? Anyone here to testify in opposition or in the neutral capacity? Okay, going to go ahead and close the public hearing for the tax exemption on real and personal property.
Number 6 is action on 2018 451 tax exemption application on real and personal property.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the 2018 451 tax exemption application on real and personal property. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. 3D is review of the 2018 451A exemption applications. This includes Scottish Rite Temple and Bryan Medical Center.
Both of these are existing exemptions that we just wanted to bring to your attention. One, we're going to recommend a modification, and that is Bryan Medical Center, known as Bryan West. There's been a change in the mix of property that's used for hospital purposes versus the rental to private entities. At the end of the day, when we recalibrate everything with new values and the new mix of exemption and taxable, there's a very minor change in the exemption percentage. It actually moves it from 92.2% of an exemption in 2017 to 92.29% exemption for 2018. So that is our recommendation, just to reflect the updated status. That's Bryan. Scottish Rite Temple, we're recommending no change at this time. We did want to bring it to your attention. There's been publicity regarding Scottish Rite Temple's remodeling of their ballroom, and then also an agreement they have with Venue Restaurant. So once there's private involvement in an exempt property, it throws up our antennas. We did contact the entity. We met with them. We toured the building. We got a very detailed listing of their calendar of all the events that have been held there. At the present time, the relationship with Venue is kind of an exclusive caterer agreement. So if I want to have my wedding reception at that venue, they're the caterer of choice for that entity. The use of the ballroom is still heavily for the exempt purposes, and they gave us a long laundry list of all the activities that have taken place since the first of the year. I think there was 2 items that were truly private events that wouldn't qualify. Statutes clearly allow an incidental use for non-exempt purpose without poisoning the entire exemption. So at this point, we'll continue to monitor it on a yearly basis just to see how that use may change over time. But at the present time, our opinion is it's still an incidental use, and we recommend continuing of the exemption, but in the effort of transparency, we did want to make it aware, because there's been some advertising by the venue, and there's been some newspaper articles regarding the remodel and the relationship. So with that, I'd take any questions.
Okay, any questions for Mr. Gaines? Commissioner
He-
Avery?
How many other properties fit in this category where there's a little bit of ambiguity as to
Well, I'd
what-
say there's several. Best example I can think of off the top of my head, Bill, would be, church. So I've got, our church has had graduation parties down in the basement, or a wedding reception. Those would be that incidental use for something outside of the truly educational, charitable, religious purpose. So it's not that unusual.
So there's
just
a
the-
fair number then, if you,
Yeah, and that's why the statutes recognize that an incidental use, you don't want to lock it out, and then there is some incidental use for non-exempt purposes that is allowable.
Okay, thank you for that explanation. And I apologize, I did not open the public hearing for the review of the 2018 451A exemption applications, so I'm going to go ahead and open it up now. Anyone here to testify in support, in opposition, or in the neutral capacity on these applications? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to go ahead and close the public hearing for the review of the 2018 451A exemption applications.
Next is number 7. This is action on review of 2018 451A exemption applications.
move approval.
Second.
But just to be clear, the motion, the only recommendation we're making is for Brian to modify the exemption as mentioned, and we're recommending no action on the Scottish Rite. Just wanted to make that crystal clear.
And that includes the new development, the new building?
Yes, yes.
Okay, Brian.
Well, this is for Bryan West. I think we've already addressed the application for the new on Bryan East, yeah.
Well, they've broken ground on Brian West.
Yeah, and we had previously had hearings where we approved a partial exemption on that.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. Number 8 is public comment. Those wishing to speak on items relating to County Board of Equalization business not on the agenda may do so at this time.
Okay, anyone in the audience wishing to speak on an item relating to the County Board of Equalization business, but not on the agenda? Okay, seeing none, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to adjourn. Please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0.
Okay, we are adjourned. Have a good week.